Hi, guys, and welcome to another edition of Zupo's SEO Talking Tea. Today's conversation: how to prioritize your content for SEO. This is an important conversation because in SEO, I feel like, I do this all the time. It's all about getting more content and growing the site. But what we can often forget about is that there is very real life demands of resources and time. So it's better to prioritize. So when I said in the beginning, even I'm at fault of this. Sometimes even with my own clients at times, just get more content out, but I can forget that content comes out better when it's prioritized in a calendar or in a system that puts a weight on content that's more important. So that's what I want to discuss today is how to prioritize that content. But before we begin, I want to introduce the tea we have today. Today we have a Keemun black tea, which is a tea that I bought years ago. I'm guessing like 5 or 6 years ago from one of the OG boba tea shops called Tea Station. And so I have the black tea, and I bought this a long time ago because back in the day I wanted to make boba at home, so I still have this from here. So let's go ahead and get brewing, get chatting. So how to prioritize content. So number one, my first thing is if you're not getting content out at all, then just get some content out. That's the first thing. Now, if you understand content, you're getting it out, but you want to understand, okay, what are our priorities though? We have a lot of demands. Which one should we do first? The way that I normally prioritize content is first, I start out with content that I know can possibly rank. In other videos, we've talked about search intent, and you'll find that there are searches where there are the Google slots for informational posts. So, for example, like what is this or how do you do that? Those are content pieces that I prioritize first with clients because when you're writing content, if you remember the concept from semantic SEO, when it comes to semantic SEO, you're trying to write content that supports your content library and reinforces that your company is a thought leader in this topic, and that's great. But of course, the content that's the most important is the one that can actually rank on the first page of Google. So a good example is like, a lot of searches you can, if you do the general top of funnel search, a lot of the search result will come out to be like, what is it? What is the search result? So, what is a cavity or what is uh, a molar or something like that. Those are the blog posts that we actually prioritize first because they have a chance of getting on the first page. Other content pieces that we might prioritize are also other informational pieces that we've found patterns that may be able to rank on the first page based on our research. So in saying that, how you prioritize content, number one is we focus on pieces that we can actually have a shot at ranking on the first page, and we know that we can rank on the first page because it's semantically related. And second, we have analyzed the search intent of a particular keyword phrase or search query, and we have found that the top ranked on the first page are these kind of formats. Right, and then after that, what we often tend to look at is if your site has already been publishing content or you already have a blog post, we like to go into SEMrush or Ahrefs or any of these kind of tools and look at what are the pages that we may be ranking for on the second or third page, and that we want to take a look and see, okay, can we easily cross over to the first page? There are some queries where sometimes you're actually pretty close, and that you just need to do some updating, some tweaking, and then you'll get onto the first page, right? So those are essentially a second wave of content that we will look at. And then third, pretty much is anything that's easy for your firm to get out. I think for me, I always skew. A lot of firms just have trouble getting anything out. So the third thing is once we've gone through the blog posts that we feel confident that we can get to the first page. Second is the low hanging fruit. Third is whatever resources that the firm can get out pretty quickly because we have the writer or we have very hands-on experience with that content. So that's kind of how I skew it out. Now, of course, in every situation is a little bit different. There will be sometimes content demands for digital PR when a publication accepts you guys for to do a guest post. Those to me always like number one priority because you have a publication that has accepted you for guest posting or contributorship, and you're gonna get a link back. That should be number one. Sometimes you're gonna do a backlinking campaign where you create a linkable asset and then you want to reach out to people to link back to link to your resource. That's another way you can prioritize. At the end of the day, all the campaigns and different things you can do really make content demands different. But what I often say is if you're just starting out fresh, you're trying to figure out what to do, I'd say if you know your keyword groups, number one, just look for the content pieces that can rank on the first page. And so the hard thing about that one, and I just want to kind of take a note here, is knowing what will rank on the first page isn't looking at your site. It's doing keyword research. when you do the keyword research, you'll find like, okay, hey, when we do this search query, all the first page are commercial or sales pages. But when we do this search query, 5 of them are informational and 5 of them are commercial, and the 5 informational ones aren't too competitive. Maybe we can go for that one, right? So that's kind of the way that you would find opportunities based on if they can rank on the first page based on searcher intent. And then second is, yes, then going through your site, looking at what already ranks on the second and third page, and what can we pop up to the first page. And that would be using a tool like Ahrefs, CMRefs, or any rank tracker tool that you may use. And then third, of course, is just whatever content that's semantically related to your keyword groups, and then getting those out quickly. So that's a really just top level overview of how we generally analyze content and how we kind of roll it out and prioritize it for our clients. Again, like I said, every situation is different. There will be different variables at play. So when it comes to your own content, you may kind of prioritize it differently. This is not the shining light, and I'm sure you can notice it's pretty generalized, and that's the purpose with our firm. We kind of customize it to each situation, but this is generally an example of how you can prioritize content efforts when you're kind of doing your own website's SEO and content. So hopefully that was valuable. If you guys liked the video, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna go and pour my tea out, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks, everybody.